What's flying, everybody? So today we have another Hunger Games centered video, and for this video we're going to be discussing the likelihood of there being so many female victors. So this is a topic that I've seen discussed, and I think that it's interesting because it's something that I kind of thought about when I first read the books and watched the movies. I always kind of thought, okay, it makes no sense that there would be so many female victors. Um, you know, I think people understand that in general, males are stronger than women. In general, they're faster than women. Just the physical capabilities of a man, on average, is better than a woman. And this is no diss to women. And some people have kind of put forth the idea that, since Susan Collins is a woman, she obviously, wants to see herself in the characters that she's writing. So she is, making it, realistic that a woman would win the same amount as a man would. And some people have kind of combated this, saying, this is just wishful thinking from Susan Collins. And I think we're just going to kind of dive into that a little bit and see whether or not, we think this is true. So first off, obviously we know that the Hunger Games is a lot more than just the combat part of the games. But if we're going to focus specifically on the combat, like I said before, when I read the books, I was definitely thinking, okay, how is there not more male winners? But, if you actually think clearly about it, District 1 and 2 train their whole lives for the games, and they're specialized. Some of them are specialized in a weapon, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a male. A District 1 and 2 female is generally going to have better odds than you in the games because they've trained their whole lives for this. Just because you're a male, you're not invincible to getting a knife thrown at you. You're not invincible to be getting stabbed. If it's a female stabbing you, it doesn't matter. You're not invincible. So there's kind of one aspect of the combat side. But besides just the combat facet of the games, like I said before, there's so many other factors. Luck being one of them. So I don't think people really realized how much luck is a part of these games. Depending on the arena you get, it can change so many things. Depending on the weapons that are in the arena, it can change so many things. Even a simple thing as, falling, tripping, whatever, luck is a huge part in these games. So that's one element that isn't really being factored into it. Another element is the entertainment factor of these games. Now, people are kind of thinking that, the strongest is going to win these games. And yes, the strongest person can win. And obviously we see that happens often because of, the career districts and their ability to train. But that is not always the case. And some may even argue that, the entertainment factor is more important than the combat factor of this game. And, I definitely agree that this is a TV show, right? So it's a TV show before it's a gladiator event, in my opinion. And being somebody who has charisma and being somebody who is, can market themselves to the Capitol and, basically play the game they want you to play is just as important as the combat part of the game and, the strength part and everything. So that's another element that isn't really getting factored into it. Like, as you can see in the 10th Hunger Games, Lucy Gray is by far the most popular tribute, and even the other tributes see this. Like, Coral is targeting her because of the fact that she's the most popular, and she sees that as a threat. And that just kind of points to the fact that it's not just about strength. Why would Coral even be worried about Lucy Gray? She's not a fighter. She can't really use weapons that well. But, you know, it's the fact that she saw that she was a performer and she saw that she was a threat. And it just kind of points to the fact that being likable and popular is just as important. And you kind of see that with Katniss as well. Yes, she has the ability with bow and arrow. She's very well with her specialized weapon, but she's also extremely popular. One might even say one of the most popular victors ever. And it kind of just points to the fact that it's more than one thing that, you know, leads to someone's victory or can lead to someone's victory. And I think people also don't take into account that this isn't the natural progression of the games isn't natural at all. Like, this is a rigged game, right? So this isn't just a gladiator event where weapons are thrown into the arena and then just whoever wins wins. That's not how it goes. Obviously, I've already mentioned the likability factor, but, you know, the Capitol can, you know, choose who they want to win. And obviously we see how rigged these games are in the 74th Hunger Games when Katniss isn't doing what the game makers want them to do. She's, you know, going farther and farther away from the nearest tribute, and she's kind of just, you know, she's not getting in the game. She's not playing the game they want them to. They want her to. They start a forest fire and they shoot fireballs at her. Like, how rigged is that? Like, that is not the natural progression of the game, but, you know, the Capitol is able to do whatever they want to get the outcome that they want. And, you know, they basically, like, killed her right there. Like, if, you know, she wasn't able to climb up that tree, she would have been killed by the careers. So that's just an instance of, you know, the natural progression of the game being rigged. So, you know, it's more than just being the strongest. It's more than just being a male. You know, it's so many things that go into it. And I don't think people take that into consideration. They're kind of thinking like whoever's the strongest, whoever's the best with their weapon is going to win. That's not how it goes. So I don't really agree with the fact that there wouldn't be the same amount of victors. I don't agree with that at all. Again, you know, even if a woman let's say it's a woman and a man 1v1, and a woman has a weapon, you know, she has a weapon. And it doesn't matter how strong or, you know, quick you are. Well, I mean, it kind of matters how quick you are, but, you know, it doesn't matter how strong you are. You aren't just invincible from getting stabbed by a knife. And, you know, the gender doesn't matter there. Let's be honest. So I feel like from what I've kind of concluded, and, you know, I've definitely realized this later on, that, you know, I think that it makes sense that there is a similar amount of victors. And obviously we don't know if there's more female or male victors because we don't know all the details of the games and we don't know all the victors. I kind of assume that there might be more male victors, but again, we don't know. And there could, you know, just as possibly be as many female victors as, or even more, you know, so we don't have the details of that. But I really don't think that it's Susan Collins being unrealistic in her writing. I think it straight up makes sense because, you know, the Hunger Games is rigged, and, you know, it's the natural progression of the games is not, you know, how it just goes. So that's kind of my thoughts on the topic. I thought it would be cool to kind of discuss and, you know, see what the conclusion was, or at least what my opinion was. And yeah, that's basically it. Hope you enjoyed.